So what I'm starting with, we're going to do our vocabulary for our read aloud, but I'm going to go over yesterday's because I didn't do a picture. So I did my best to get an appropriate picture on. So the first one was constant from yesterday. It means it wasn't changing, and I put a thermometer. And the reason I did that is because our body temperatures pretty much stay at a constant temperature. Do you remember what it was? 98.6 degrees. So this to help me remember that our temperature is something that stays constant and doesn't have a lot of change. Cold-blooded, I put an example of an iguana on there because iguanas are reptiles, and reptiles are
cold-blooded.
Fabulous. For huddle, I did these super adorable little like groundhog things, and I had them huddled together because, yeah, maybe they're prairie dogs. They're huddling together. Animals huddle in order to be close together to stay warm. So animals that often have that feature are going to be animals that are warm-blooded. I did this picture for internal because internal means something that's inside of you. So this is an example of things that are inside of that cool dog right there. I did warm-blooded. I purposely chose a rat for warm-blooded because Rattenborough, he is just like us, that is warm-blooded. Yeah, and I just watched this thing like 2 nights ago, and it talks about like the history of rats, and I found it really interesting that rats and humans are so much alike. But so I thought it was kind of cool. So warm-blooded, they need features of themselves to help them control their temperature. Today we are in our vocabulary for today's reading. We just have a few words, and the really nice thing about these words is these are words that you already encountered in your other reading. They were all bold words in your other reading. So the first one is the word aquatic. Aquatic just means living, growing, or found in water. Anything that's aquatic is living, growing, or can be found in water. Our next word is gill. Definitely a word you came across, right?
Yeah.
And something that most of you guys put on what you knew about fish is that fish breathe from a gill is, or one gill. So this is just singular. One gill is one of the pair of the organs fish use to breathe underwater. So it's helping them breathe underwater. Scales is our next one. Scales, and I tried to find the most vibrant picture I could that was real. Scales are just thick. They're thick. They're tough little things. They're thick, small discs on the outside of the bodies of some animals, such as fish, but not only fish. Who else has scales? Reptiles. Fabulous. So, and a snake is an example of that reptile. So, fabulous. That is our vocabulary for today's reading. Today's reading, we will jump into it in just a moment. Before we jump into it, I want us to just kind of switch focus, and I want everybody to look at page 5.3. Page 55, which is 5.3. Open it up. I had you put your pencil in there. Open it up to that page. If we look at this page here, and it's an example of a web. This is going to be a chart or a graphic organizer that we often use. So when you see it says fish in the middle, right? That's our main thing we're going to be learning about today. All these little things coming out from are things we're going to be learning about fish. We're going to have picture pausing points today where we stop at a picture and you guys write down any information that we just covered about fish. But please don't be writing unless I ask you to, okay? So we're going to take our quick break. Your pencil is in there. It can be closed up until we take that picture pause break, okay? Fabulous. We're all prepared to roll on that. As a quick reminder of what we did last time, so we have been reading about different animals. Yesterday we focused on cold-blooded and warm-blooded animals. Today in our read aloud we are going to focus on fish. Again, there are going to be pausing points throughout that we are going to be filling out our graphic organizer.